'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now.
The sunlight streamed through the stained glass window, casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the dusty old library floor. A familiar voice interrupted my thoughts. "Hey, aren't you the girl who's been following me around all day?" I glanced up to see the infamous bad boy of our college, Park Jimin, leaning against the checkout counter. He was charming and handsome, the kind of guy that girls like me would normally avoid at all costs. But there was something about him that drew me in, even from afar. Maybe it was the way he wore out his leather jacket so effortlessly, or the confidence with which he carried himself. Whatever it was, I couldn't deny the strange sense of fascination I felt whenever he was near. Hi, I stammered, my cheeks blushing. "I wasn't exactly following you. I was just staring over here." Jimin smirked, taking a step closer. "Oh, really? Because it sure seemed like you were keeping an eye on me." He paused, tilting his head to the side. "You know, I could always use a little company. Wanna hang out sometime?" My heart skipped a beat at his offer. I knew better than to get involved with someone like Park Jimin, but for some reason I found myself wanting to say yes. Before I could gather my thoughts, however, he added, "Or you could just get out of here. I hear the cafeteria's got some pretty good coffee today." I hesitated for a moment, unsure of what to say. The idea of spending time with Jimin was thrilling, but something told me that I couldn't pass up this opportunity. "Okay," I said, trying to sound confident. "Let's go." As we walked out of the library, I couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation building inside me. Where would Jimin take me? What would we talk about? And more importantly, would this end up being just another dare for him, or could there possibly be more to it? We ended up at a cozy little coffee shop just off campus. The smell of freshly brewed coffee and baked goods filled the air, making my stomach grumble. Jimin ordered us both a coffee and then gestured for me to pick a table. As we sat down, he turned to face me, his eyes intense. "So, why do you always follow me around anyway?" I felt my cheeks flush again as I tried to think of an answer that wouldn't make me sound completely. I don't know. I guess I just thought you were interesting." There, it was out. He laughed, a deep, genuine laugh that made my heart skip a beat. And here I thought you were just trying to avoid your overprotective brothers. He said, referring to my 3 older brothers who were all part of a different fraternity. But I guess I should take that as a compliment. We spent the next few hours talking about everything in the coffee shop. He told me stories about his life before college, growing up in a small town with a single mom. I told him about my family and my dreams of becoming a journalist. And somehow, as the hours passed, the idea of just a dare seemed less and less likely. Maybe there was more to this bad boy than met the eye. When it started to get late, Jimin insisted on walking me back to my dorm. The walk was silent for a while, but I didn't mind. His presence was comforting, and for the first time in a long while, I felt truly happy. As we reached my door, he hesitated before finally speaking. "Hey, you know," Jimin started. "I don't like you. You are not my type. You were just a dare for me. So don't get your hopes up. You know how it is. You'll just end up hurt." He said. I felt the sting of his words, but I didn't want to believe them. "I understand, Jimin," I said softly, trying to keep the hurt out of my voice. "It's just that I really enjoyed spending time with you today. I hope we can do it again sometime." "No, never," Jimin insisted, shaking his head. "You don't get it? I'm not the kind of guy who gets involved with girls like you," he said and walked away from me. I stood there for a moment, my heart heavy with disappointment and confusion. Was he just playing with me all this time? Was it all a game to him? I wanted to believe that there was more to our time together than just a dare, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that I had been tricked. As the days went by, I tried to forget about Park Jimin and focus on my studies. But every time I saw him in the library or across the quad, my heart would race and my stomach would flip-flop. I told myself that it was better this way, that I should just move on and find someone who truly cared for me. But no matter how much I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about him. One afternoon, as I was walking back to my dorm after class, I heard someone calling my name. I turned around and there he was, standing at the edge of the path. His eyes were intense as he looked at me, and for a moment I felt that old familiar flutter in my chest. "Hey," he said, his voice soft. "I just wanted to apologize for being such a... the other day. I shouldn't have said those things. You deserve better than that." I felt myself blushing again, unsure of how to react. "It's okay," I said quietly. I understand. Jimin shook his head. No, you don't. I've never felt this way about anyone before. I mean, I'm not exactly the relationship type, but... He trailed off, looking down at his feet. I just wanted to let you know that I really enjoyed spending time with you. And if you ever want to hang out again, I'd really like that. I hesitated for a moment, my heart racing. A million thoughts raced through my mind. Was this really happening? Was Park Jimin actually interested in me? Before I could say anything, he added, but if you'd rather not, I get it. I'll leave you alone. No, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I'd like that. I'd like to hang out with you again. His smile lit up his face, and for a moment, it felt like the sun had come out from behind the clouds. As the days went by, our friendship blossomed. We continued to spend time together, and the more we talked, the more I realized how much we had in common. Jimin wasn't the carefree, rebellious, bad boy I had thought he was. He was smart, thoughtful, and had a sense of humor. He made me laugh and he made me feel safe. One evening, as we sat on a blanket in the park, watching the stars come out, Jimin took my hand in his. You know, he said, looking into my eyes. I was wrong about you. You're nothing like the other girls I've met here. You're different, and I really like that. His words sent a shiver down my spine. I don't want to lose you, okay? I leaned in closer, my heart racing. I don't ever want to lose you either, I whispered, closing the distance between us. It was gentle. That made my toes curl. As we, beneath the stars, I knew that this was real. Park Jimin had changed, and so had I. Maybe love could find its way to even the most unlikely of people. You don't find love, it finds you. It's got a little bit to do with destiny and words written in the stars. 빠졌던 기간이라면